Many people out there have been speculating on that Meghan Markle has lied about her age. Is she actually older?
They say age is just a number, but in Meghan Markle's case,
a persistent cloud of speculation swirls around Meghan Markle's biography, with a central claim being that the very foundation of her personal timeline
want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
Her age is a deliberate fabrication. According to allegations championed by royal biographer Tom Bower, the officially recognized story of her life isn't merely incomplete.
her birth year could be the biggest acting role of her career.
This is a copy of 17 magazine that was published in March of 1997. In it, it mentions our Megzy is from Los Angeles and that she was 21 years old at the time of publication. That would make her birth year at around 1976.
It may feature an entirely erroneous publication date. The narrative suggests a conscious effort to conceal these secrets, and for those who love to investigate, the truth is a tantalizing prize.
How can you get your age so wrong?
Meghan has built her public persona on a series of reinventions, from Hollywood actress to royal rebel and global humanitarian. However, a potential plot twist looms larger than all others.
This gentleman right here, that's Nick Jones, the original founder of Soho House. Guess where he's going there? He's arriving at Meghan Markle and Harry's wedding as guest of honor. Oh yeah, Soho was present there.
Her actual birth year could represent the most significant acting role of her entire career. The controversy ignited with the discovery of a vintage copy of 17 magazine from March 1997.
You're wondering, why does her age matter at all? Because her age would also have an impact on her ability to have children. Because if Meghan Markle is 4 years older than what we have been led to believe, it makes it even more difficult to believe that she was able to get pregnant so quickly.
Which featured a mention of a young Meghan Markle from Los Angeles, identifying her as 21 years old. Simple arithmetic places her year of birth around 1976, which would make her nearly 50 years old in 2025, a stark contrast to the accepted age of 44. This single,
A ridiculous story about how they first met. The whole thing was a tissue of inaccuracies, to be polite.
seemingly minor numerical discrepancy has the power to recalibrate everything from the timeline of her early career auditions to the chronology of her royal romance. The plot is said to intensify with claims from her own father, Thomas Markle, who has indicated that his personal recollections of her childhood do not align with the publicly circulated story. Furthermore, industry insiders have whispered that she systematically shaved years off her age to better fit the mold of a budding Hollywood starlet. The palace's consistent silence on the matter is interpreted by some as a telling detail, suggesting that once you begin to question Meghan's timeline, every public photograph, every personal milestone, and every carefully crafted public appearance begins to appear suspiciously perfect.
Her father claims that she was born in 1981. So if she was born in 1981 when Yasmin did that commercial, and like in 1997, she would have been 16 years of age, not 13.
The intrigue deepens with connections to figures like Nick Jones, founder of Soho House, and his presence at her wedding, adding layers to her pre-royal social history. The argument posits that we are witnessing the most significant royal biographical rewrite in modern memory, framing the situation not as mere gossip, but as a chronological crime scene. The ultimate question posed to the audience is profound. If Meghan Markle's age is not what she claims, what other elements of her public identity might be similarly unreliable?
There is something that is not connecting. There is something that is not right.
The debate also extends into more personal territory, questioning why her age matters at all. One theory suggests it could have implications for understanding her journey to motherhood, arguing that if she were 4 years older than publicly believed, it would make the narrative of quickly conceiving children more medically complex.
Never mind the hysterectomy stories that her family have told, but that would make it more difficult because that would make Meghan Markle near 50.
The 1997 Teen magazine feature is often labeled the smoking gun, as it would mean that at the time of its publication, Meghan's official age should have been 16, not 21. Online detectives and royal watchers have seized on this inconsistency, with Bower himself asserting that the math doesn't lie. The subsequent theory is that in the cutthroat environment of Hollywood, where an actress's age is a direct form of currency, Meghan's team made a strategic decision to edit her timeline, transforming her from a woman approaching 30 into a rising star in her early 20s. The mysterious disappearance of this magazine issue from online archives is cited as further evidence of a cover-up. The foundation is said to fracture further with her father's accounts. Thomas Markle's references to her early work history and family milestones allegedly fail to align with the official timeline, leading him to reportedly state, "That's not the Meghan I knew."
That she was 13 years of age when she started to work for Humphrey Yogurt, in spite of the fact that Humphrey Yogurt has said that they have never employed anybody aged 13.
The presence of old photos, school forms, and corroborating accounts from former neighbors, who allegedly recalled her always being older than she claimed, fuels the Agegate conspiracy. This leads to the accusation that Meghan's pre-royal superpower was not merely charm, but a ruthless talent for rebranding. Inconsistencies in early agency bios and acting databases, which were allegedly scrubbed or updated just before her royal engagement became public, are presented as evidence of a digital detox, designed to erase inconvenient truths. The narrative claims that by the time she starred in Suits, she was not a fresh-faced graduate but a seasoned industry professional finally receiving her breakthrough. Upon entering the royal family, the theory suggests she imported her Hollywood PR playbook directly into Buckingham Palace. Her official timeline, as presented on royal websites and in press releases, began to shift, with old bios disappearing and archived articles being mysteriously edited or taken down. Researchers are said to have found significant gaps in her early charity work and acting resume, creating a puzzle where the pieces no longer fit. BOWEL is quoted as describing her official story as a polished production with missing scenes. This fusion of royal protocol and Hollywood narrative craft is presented as creating a result that is less about authenticity and more about fiction presented in an elegant facade. The speculation reaches its peak with the timeline of her children's births. While official palace statements portrayed flawless, serene events,
I mean, everybody has seen that commercial. It clearly starts with, when I'm Meghan Markle, I'm 12 years old. So what is going on here? Why the secrecy around this woman's birth certificate? Why the mistakes in age that are so blatant for others?
skeptics point to alleged insider accounts that question the medical logistics, including the management of epidurals, the speed of labor, and an unusually rapid discharge from the hospital. The high level of secrecy surrounding the birth certificates and the swift, polished public appearances just days after giving birth are presented as mathematically suspicious and choreographed for the cameras. The theory suggests that if the timeline of her motherhood is subject to manipulation, it calls into question the entire empire she has built since leaving the monarchy. Her post-royal career, from the Oprah interview to lucrative production deals with Netflix and Spotify, is framed not as a genuine new chapter, but as the Meghan 2.0 rebrand, a strategic monetization of her royal experience where every headline, whether good or bad, is converted into a character arc. In the final analysis, the narrative concludes that the palace did not silence Meghan Markle's story. Instead, she masterfully scripted it herself. The lingering question for the audience is whether she is the ultimate PR genius or the most significant royal manipulator of the modern era. Every allegedly missing year, every polished headline, and every contradiction is presented as evidence that she was not merely living a royal romance but actively producing it, complete with retakes and edits. Her story is described as a fairy tale built on a foundation of fiction, ensuring she remains the most talked-about woman to ever walk away from Windsor Castle. This is just the beginning of the story. If you found this deep dive into the mysteries surrounding Meghan Markle compelling, you need to see what we uncover next. Subscribe to Star Spotlight for more investigative content that challenges the official narrative. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an exposé.